These are 4 variations of how to mount from the crossbody position. Number 1 is going to be a knee slide variation. This can come from a 2-on-1 crossbody position, a head and arm crossbody position, or your overhook crossbody position. The key to the knee slide mount is you're not allowing any space between your shin bone and the person's hip. So if I take it from a 2-on-1 crossbody position, I'm lifting my knee up. So if my knee's starting on his hip joint anyhow, all I'm doing is like I'm going to be kneeing right through his hip joint. So I'm staying as tight as possible. So it's coming up and going right over and sliding. It's like you're going to slice this person's hip line, belt line, and cut it right open. That's how tight it needs to be. And I'm slicing it with the blade of my shin bone. So I'm just putting my knee right into his hip. It will stretch up and over top, come across. As the knee hits, I'm then just dropping my leg over and getting my knee slide position. So again, it's crucial to keep this really tight where there's no space as your knee slide mounting over. So with the knee slide mount, hit that hip, slide up and over the hip. Knee will land on the opposite side of his body, and the leg just windshield wipers to the ground. Arm position. So as I'm knee slide mounting, I want to what we call windshield wiper with our arms. So as I'm knee slide mounting over, my arms are going to windshield wiper, and I'm going to come into my mount position. This is just a neutral or middle mount, which is right up on his stomach. You can also take this knee slide mount from a head and arm. Put pressure on his neck, knee up on his hip, slide it across his belt line. Again, as I get over here, I'm going to windshield wiper my hands, control, and just hold him out. And a knee slide mount can come from your overhook position. Overhooking the far arm, body weight on the upper part of his body and his neck. And I'm just going to bring my far leg, my kickstand leg, and again here, it's like I'm going to be swinging it to where I'm kneeing his hip. So I bring it, I knee his hip, it will continue to slide over. Again, I'm using a windshield wiper with my top arm. This protects me from getting bridged or swept backwards. So as the knee comes through, I start to windshield wiper, keep my chest tight to his body, keep myself heavy, and controlling the down position of the neutral mount, middle mount. So what you don't want to do in this knee slide is as my knee comes over, I don't want all this space. Again, I want it as tight as possible. Remember, when you're on top, you want to have no space, bottom's trying to create space. So there's too much space here. So I want to come as tight as possible. Again, like I'm going to knee him in the hip, and then it ricochets right up and skips over his hip line, belt line. Windshield wiper staying heavy with my chest. Sitting up in that neutral position, if this is the neutral mount you want to work. So that's a knee slide mount from 2-on-1, head and arm, or overhook position. Next one's a leg over. This would come from an overhook position. Leg over would be if this person's leg is up, preventing me from mounting. So this person on bottom, to prevent people from mounting, they're on top, can be with his knee. He can use his hand as well. He can also use his opposite knee. So his knee up tight is preventing me from getting that knee slide through. If I try to knee slide through, he can use this opposite far leg to block that knee from coming through. Or if I knee slide through, he can use his hand. So there's 3 options to try to stop that knee slide mount. So again, he has the near side leg, the opposite leg, or he can use his hand to prevent that knee slide from coming over. So if this knee's up, preventing that mount, or that knee slide mount, I'm just going to take my leg, we just call it leg over. I'm staying heavy on his top of his body, preventing him from bridging if possible. And I'm just going leg up high or over his other leg, and I'm landing flat-footed. So I'm momentarily in this position, so this is why I'm weak over here, where he could bridge me and I have no pulse. So as soon as I get this leg over, I keep my chest heavy to his chest, and I gotta get the windshield wiper and post. So from the overhook, he's preventing me with this knee. So I'm gonna leg over. So the knee slide through, I'm just leg over. I lift this leg up, slam it to the ground so it's nice and powerful and quick. As I'm doing that, I'm wiping it. Windshield wiper. Thank you. preventing that bridge this way where I have a lack of a post. So I'm in this overhook position. He's preventing that mount. So leg up and over as I spin on his chest or his solar plex. Leg up over as I spin. And it's like I'm pivoting. This little swivel on his chest. So the leg comes up and over, plants as I spin and pivot, swivel into this, again, neutral mount position. Okay? That's the leg over from the overhook position. Next one from all three of them. I can go 2-on-1, head and arm, or overhook. He brings his leg up again, so he's preventing that knee slide mount. So I'm just going to weave his legs. So I'm going to bring this back, weave through his legs. You just got to be careful here because you're allowing space. Okay, I'm a little susceptible to him bridging, moving, shrimping, and getting out of this position. So a lot of times, either from 2-on-1 or head and arm or the overhook, when I'm going here, I'm actually going to put pressure on his head. I can go underhook his head, a lot of weight on his head, again, making it hard for him to bridge. Because again, I'm giving up a little bit of space by lifting my arm back and trying to weave. But so you can see it, I'm weaving through, I'm padlocking his far leg, and I'm rolling my shoulder over into him. So there's two things that he's going to potentially do from here. He's either going to kick his leg out, which gives me that knee slide space to get through. If he doesn't kick out, I'm just crushing his hip, or manipulating his hip to the mat on this side, and that allows me to get the knee up from here. So, if I'm in a 2-on-1 position, I'm going to reach for the back of his neck, or his head on his neck, put pressure in, reach through, weave, padlock that leg, and I'm going to start to roll my shoulder over. If he kicks out, there's my knee slide mount to the windshield wiper. If I'm head and arm, okay, I keep this neck, grab his neck. It's like you're going to take your middle finger and put it right on his carotid artery. Pull his neck and head into your shoulder and get heavy with your shoulder. Reach back, weave through, padlock that far leg, roll it over. If he kicks out, gives me that space to knee slide mount, windshield wiper control. If I'm head and arm, or I'm overhook, same thing, staying heavy, padlock, roll my shoulder over, he kicks out, there's my knee slide mount. If I'm 2-on-1, again, I go back, 2-on-1 again, I'm looking to attack this arm. I want to mount, I go back, grab that neck, pull it into my shoulder, reach back. If he doesn't kick out off this, I'm just bearing his hip, and I'm just knee slide mounting from here. If I go head and arm, again, I'm going to abandon my lock position, grab his neck, pull it into my shoulder, reach back, weave through his leg, padlock, roll my shoulder over. He doesn't kick out. Momentarily, his hips are buried, or turned over, knee up to his hip, and just slide right through. And control. And if I'm overhook position, again, I weave through, padlock, roll my shoulder over. He doesn't look to kick out or counter in any way. So I just drive my hip over, chest tight, roll into my neutral mount. Fourth variation is just a knee tap. This you'll take from the overhook crossbody position. So I have overhook. Legs scissored out, strong base, wide base, controlling the hip. So this knee is up, preventing me from mounting. So instead of the weave or try to leg over, I'm just going to knee tap it. I'm just going to jam it just like this. It's just a quick retraction off his knee. So I'm not pushing where his leg's going to probably be stronger than my arm. So I'm just going to jerk his knee. So I'm not pushing where he's going to resist. I'm just going to knee tap it. Just get his knee to jerk, leg jerk back just enough. Gives me enough time to get through and get my knee started through that belt area. So I'm just going to knee tap, get the knee through, wipe, control. From the overhook. Again, I'm controlling his hip. If there's striking involved, I may be controlling more or defending knees. I'm just going to knee tap it, quick jerk of the knee tap, leg through, wipe, neutral. So we have the knee slide from each position, leg over from the overhook position, the arm weave from each position, 2-on-1 head and arm and overhook, and then just the knee tap from the overhook position.